Hello and welcome. I'm Coral Bass with Manatee County Parks and Natural Resources, and today we're in beautiful Conservatory Park. This week we've been talking about owls. Now, owls are a fierce, amazing feathered friend who is sometimes misunderstood because they're nocturnal. Super duper cool creature. So without further ado, let's go explore into the feathered world of owls. Today we'll be reading Owls by Gale Gibbons. On silent wings a bird swoops down in the moonlight. The bird is an owl. Using its powerful claws, it grabs a field mice. Owls are raptors, and raptors are birds of prey, meaning they're hunters that can eat meat. They grab their prey with claws called talons that are very, very short. And this right here is our first owl. Both of these guys are the same owl. In our area, these are the great horned owl, all right? One little tidbit on this page is the word raptor comes from the Latin, from repair, meaning to grab or seize by force, which they grab their food and seize by force. Most owls have the same basic characteristics. The males is usually smaller than the females. It's smaller, like most raptors. There are different types of owls. Owls with round facial discs are strigidae. Owls with heart-shaped discs are titanidae owls. Alright, so here we have our little eastern screech owl. That's another one of ours you might find in the woods. Here we have our other two others, our barn owl and our barred. So see, like these have lines going down, those are the bars. So the barred and the barn. You can see he's got the heart shaped. This one has the circular. Get a good close look at that difference. The eyes of an owl cannot move in their eye sockets to watch for prey. Instead, owls have flexible necks that can twist almost completely around. They can even turn their heads upside down. Most owls hunt at night. Day or night, they can see much better than people. So there are two owls not found in our local area, but they still have the same adaptation of having their eyes and their head. Their eyes moving, right? And not being able to move. Their eyes not being able to move. And their heads being so much more flexible than us. Kind of the opposite of what we are. Flexible eyes and not as flexible neck. Eyes and ears. Owls have very large eyes. Owls can change their focus of their eyes very rapidly and see great distances. At night, the pupils of their eyes get big. This allows more light to enter into their eyes, giving them unusually good vision in the dark. Most owls rely on their keen hearing for hunting, rather than their excellent vision. Their ears are hidden behind their facial discs. Remember we talked about it, the round ones and the heart-shaped facial discs? These discs act like dish antennas to funnel sound to the ears. Owls are constantly turning their head to hear better. An owl attacks its prey silently when flying. It can move its wings without making a sound. Silence. An owl's bones are very light. They are full of air. The strength of an owl's wing and the lightness of its bone give an owl extraordinary lifting power. Strong legs and toes and strong needle-sharp curved talons give owls great grasping power. Most owls kill their prey by biting at the base of their neck. Different owls have different diets, right? Different people have different diets too. They may eat squirrels, skunks, rabbits, birds, snakes, insects, and other creatures. Owls usually swallow their food whole, head first. When an owl kills an animal that is too big to swallow whole, it shreds it with its beak. I would say that is a ferocious animal. Owls cannot chew or grind their food. They cough up what they can't digest in pellets. The pellets usually contain fur and bone. Many owls rest or roost during the day. Some owls nap from time to time, resting their head on their chest. Other owls twist their heads around to rest of them on their back. I can't do that, can you? No. I don't have that kind of flexibility. Hoot, hoot, screech, screech. Owls communicate in many ways. They may use sounds to claim a territory, to warn of danger, or call to a mate. Some people think owls' sounds are eerie. Right? So we've got the barred owl who says, woo, 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 woo. Boreal, ding, ding, ding. Great horned owl is, woo, 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 woo. And then you have the snowy owl that goes, crow, crow. These two are not found in Florida. We don't get enough snow. Owls make nesting sites in unusual places. They may nest in the hollow of tree, in tree stumps, on the ground, or in abandoned bird nests. So you can see our eastern screech likes to be in an abandoned tree, and our great horns really love, and barred owls will steal nests from other birds. When a male barn owl courts a female barn owl, he will bring food to her as an offering. Often he flutters his powerful wings and hovers over her to get her attention. The male's mating call is crunch, crunch. When the female accepts the male, they mate. Then they choose a nesting site for the female to lay her eggs. Often they choose an old barn hayloft. Barn owls don't build nests. They use a space that is dark and safe. So look, I told you some of ours use steel nests and whatnot, and then like our barn owl here, it actually uses the barn. So smart. All right, that's how they got their name, right? Because they use it a barn. In about 2 weeks, the female begins laying her eggs. She lays 1 egg at a time every 2 days. At the end of 10 days, there are 5 eggs. She sits on them, keeping them warm. This is called incubation, and most birds do incubate birds incubate theirs. They sit on the nest and keep it warm. About 1 month later, the female hears a faint beep coming from one of the eggs. The shell begins to crack. The first owlet uses its egg tooth to break free from the first shell. The tiny owl is blind and helpless and has no feathers, but it can hear all the sounds around it. The male has been hunting and bringing food to its mate. So look at 2 days later, the next owlet hatches. The mother keeps them warm and protects them from with her soft feathers. At 2 weeks old, the owlets can see. They're covered with soft down. Down is a type of feather. Now both parents must hunt to feed their hungry brood. So you can see the soft feathers on this one. I'm going to stop early so you see it. They're soft feathers, so they go from these pink, pink, pink. Oh, they try flying. So they aren't flying yet, but they will. They will. Give them time, right? When the owlets are 2 months old, they have moved outside of the barn and are able to fly. But they still need their parents to help them get food. When the young owls are about 5 months old, they're able to live on their own. Years ago, there were many more owls in the world than there are today. People killed owls to protect smaller livestock. Farmers and others used chemicals to protect crops, plants, and trees from insects. Also, natural habitats were destroyed as people moved into wilderness areas. Chemicals weakened the eggshells of owls, so not as many owlets even survived. Today, places have been set aside as reserves to protect owls. Some zoos have breeding programs for endangered owls. Owls play an important role in the balance of the natural world. People don't see owls very often. That's because most owls are creatures of the night. When you're out in the country at night, listen carefully. You might hear the sounds of an owl. Ooh, ooh. The end. Owls. Owls have a really important role in our ecosystem. For them, they cut down on a lot of our pests. So our rats, our mice population, they keep the squirrel population down. They eat, as you heard, a wide variety of things. And it also depends on their size. Our little screech owl, that guy will only eat our bugs, our palmetto bugs. It will eat like little tiny butterflies and moths and things like that. But you get something like the great horned owl, and it can sometimes eat a possum. So it's really important to note that they help keep our population control of animals down. But people are interesting because owls are nocturnals. So that means they love they're night flyers, all right, night predators, and they find them a little unnerving because of that. They do sounds in the woods, like sometimes with a screech owl, the eastern screech, you'll hear him whinny. He'll sound like he's a little baby horse in the middle of the word. Right? So you hear that, and people get all concerned in the middle of the night. It's a haunted forest or something. No, it's just the creatures that belong out at night are there. One of them being our most beautiful and our most precious, owls. So the next time you're out in the forest, I want you to take a pause. Like this book said, take a moment, and I want you to listen. Try and see if you can hear an owl, especially when you're out at night, or even in your own backyard. I live in Manatee County, and I have heard both screech owls and great horns out in my backyard. So it is possible. If you've got somebody with trees, they could have owls. I've even seen it at G.T. Gray Park, right in a spot with hundreds of people. There are owls. You just have to be ready to look. A couple of years ago at Goblin Gathering, it was really exciting. Not gonna lie. All right. But if you spot an owl or hear an owl, let us know. And if you have ever, please tell me where you heard them. It's always curious to know where our owls are hiding out. All right. So I want to say thank you for joining us for Nature Story Time here at Conservatory Park. I hope you'll be able to join us next week. And I hope to see you soon. Bye.